Hi everyone, I'm Miles with Booth Music, and today we're going to be talking about tone, specifically how it pertains to the electric guitar. We're going to be going over what it is, what contributes to it, and how to change it, as well as giving you some examples of different types of tone for reference. So, to get started, what is tone? So in music, tone is a word that we can use to describe the quality of an instrument's sound. With guitar specifically, we've got our treble side, and we've got our bass end. So, for the bass end, some words that you might use to describe it are mellow, dark, muddy. Whereas the treble side, we use words like sharp, or bright, or clear. With the electric guitar, a majority of your tone is going to come from the strings that you have, as well as the gauge that they are, and also the pickups that you have and the types of pickups that they are. Whether they're single coils or humbuckers, and with your strings, what I've got on here right now are 10 to 46. But changing them to a heavier gauge like 1150 would drastically change the sound and make it a lot more warm and dark and mellow as we're adding more to the bass end. Whereas changing the strings to, say, a 942 set is going to make the high end a lot more sharp, a lot more clear, and a lot more bright. For example, if I move this to the neck pickup and I roll the tone knobs on this down, we notice that the tone becomes a lot more muddy and less clear. Whereas, if I change the pickup that I'm using from the neck all the way down to the bridge, and I increase my tone all the way, we notice that it becomes brighter and tinnier. So as you can see, changing which pickup you're using and also changing your tone on your guitar itself can do a lot to change the tone. Another thing that we can do is we can change the tone on our guitar using our tone knobs and our volume knobs, as well as our pickup selector changing the pickups, but also through our amp. So most amps have just two settings, which would be your bass and your treble. Treble meaning your high side, and then bass obviously is your low end. So if I turn the treble up all the way on here, and I go directly all the way to the bridge pickup, would be the brightest pickup, and I've got my tone all the way up, we notice that it was even brighter than it was before I turned the treble up on the amp. So with the bass all the way up and the treble all the way down, we get that warm, dark, mellow sounding low end. But it's still on the bridge pickup. If I switch it over, it all kind of blends together. And that's a result of decreasing the tone and kind of taking away from the clarity of each individual string. Now we'll show you how it sounds with different pickups. Right now I've got these 3 single coils, but next I'm going to show you how it sounds with humbuckers. As you can see, the guitar that I have in my hands now is very, very different from the guitar that I had previously. We've got these 2 humbuckers instead of the 3 single coils that we had previously. Also, we've got different controls. We've got our master volume here, and then we've got various different controls right here for tone and for volume of the individual pickups. You'll also notice that with our pickup selector, we've only got 3 options. That's because we've only got our 2 pickups. We've got this one for the neck, the middle, and our bridge. Another thing you'll notice is that this guitar is a semi-hollow. And what that does typically to the tone is it makes it more resonant, and it adds somewhat of an acoustic quality to the instrument. We can do the same thing that we did with the Stratocaster to test out how warm we can get the tone on this one. Typically with humbuckers, you're going to have, by default, a warmer and more mellow tone. And we'll get into more about pickups and why that is in a later video. But, for example, if I take the tone down and I'm on the neck pickup, even without changing the settings on the amp, we have a darker tone than we did with our Stratocaster when we turned the bass all the way up and had the treble all the way down. And for contrast, if I take the tone all the way up, on the bridge pickup, so we can see that it's brighter on the bridge, and that not only has to do with the types of pickups that we have in this guitar, but it also has to do with the construction, and also the placement of the pickups is very important as well. I know I've thrown a lot of information at you in this video, and I know that it might be a little bit overwhelming. The world of electric guitar and guitar in general is huge. Everything from pickups to amps to pedals. There are so many things that can change and contribute to your tone. But it's important to understand how to use it because it makes you a more versatile and valuable player. So stay tuned to the channel. We'll be sure to have more videos regarding amps, pedals, pickups to help you understand tone a little bit better. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep making music.